me jump blooded until the dead. He walked me jump blooded until the dead. I gone now.
Beautiful music, yeah? Beautiful music. Only in St. Vincent and the Grenadines at WFM studio. We are located at Windy Point, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and you just heard from former Calypso monarch in those days. The man was a class by himself, okay? It's 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's a Tuesday night. My name is Kingsley. Yes, I'm here. I just making sure play my anthem for the Tuesday night program to make sure that you enjoy it in its fullest. And you're going to have a twin speed of it. We leave here 10 minutes before 10, and we're going to play from about 5 to until it goes into the Automotive station. So good night to you, wherever you are. And let me say good night to the unofficial, let me repeat that, the unofficial ambassador for WFM, Mrs. Anne-Marie de Freitas Bacchus. You gotta look online to see she's there, and she's already there. For those posters, as those boys that say, share the life, let people know that the #1 program on a Tuesday is on. I noticed, I didn't hear it here, so it's going to be as a public service announcement. I understand that the Honorable Prime Minister, right, Honorable Gonsalves, will be holding some, I don't know if it's the right word to use, consultation tomorrow at the Methodist Hall on Thursday. If I'm going, of course I'm going. You know, I have two topics. Which one I'm going to choose first? I think I'm going to choose the politics one first. The situation that we found ourselves in after July 1st with the hurricane season, starting off with a bang in some of the bad things that happened. And the parliament was convened recently, where we see a good and forceful debate in parliament. And I get the impression that the NDP were playing the politics of development. But you know what turned me off? Like I said, I listen to, I'm a radioholic, so I was listening to Nice Radio this morning, and the chairman of the NDP, the Honorable Daniel Cummins, aka, you know, and they played his presentation in Parliament. And after he came into the program, live, fire. And I found myself asking this question. The presentation by the leader of the opposition in Parliament with the bill which was presented, the issue of the supplementary estimate to get some more monies was supported by Lauren Friday. Was that playing good politics or the best politics? I think it was playing relatively good politics. But when I listened to Daniel Cummins today, after they played his presentation, and his presentation in Parliament did make some sense, I asked myself, really? I mean, I wonder if Daniel Cummins was listening to himself when they were playing the tape with his presentation. He came in and he defeated the purpose after. It's about the politics. It's about the politics. What happened in the Grenadines and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and mainland St. Vincent with the hurricane will take some time. Would take some time to take us back where we were. And time, money, and resources in its place is needed. And I hear Daniel Cummins saying that he thinks that there was some time wasting debating the bill in Parliament, and he thinks there are some time wasting time going on with the reconstruction of the different aspects of the damage. But Daniel Cummins, this thing can't happen overnight, you know. It can't happen overnight. And that is why I didn't hear it on this radio station, but I heard it on NBC Radio, where the Right Honorable Prime Minister Gonsalves will be having some Well, he said is a consultation and a discussion to the development of what we lost during the hurricane. And I'm going to take some time to go and listen, and I hope we have questions and answer time so I could question the Prime Minister. And I'm hoping that the Prime Minister, acting press secretary, listen. Candyman, I hope to hear from you tonight. And the politics and the plans that Dr. Gonsalves and the ULP, should the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines have in mind to develop what we lost, and most of what we lost will be replaced somewhere or the other. And, you know, I ask myself, politicians sometimes, when they talk, they forget what they say, you know. And I will interlink it to what I'm going to discuss in my second topic. I can remember a politician sometime in the past made a statement and say they're going to bring in businesses in the supermarket businesses to compete with the leading supermarkets in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know, we all have to engage our thought before we open our mouth, you know. And before I decided to speak of this, I did call the manager director, I think it's what Kyron, his name is, and I asked him if CK Grades normally sponsor here. I knew the answer, yes, because CK Grades sponsored this program already. And he said they sponsor occasionally, regardless if they sponsor occasionally, they still contribute to the WFM post, okay? And I believe that 99.9% of the Vincentian public and the non-nationals who live here support the CK Grades brand of supermarket, whether it is in Pembroke, Kingston, or Annesville. I think we have to give ourselves a round of applause for supporting that local business. Because have you heard about the size of a contribution they made to help with the development plan in St. Vincent and Grenadines? If somebody give you $1 million right now, how are you going to spend it? Well, I tell you, I would like to have $1 million in my hand. Just to feel like a millionaire, I just want to feel like a millionaire. And all Vincentians who listen to WFM tonight, whether you shop at CK Grades, directly or indirectly, you need to give yourself a round of applause and continue to support CK Grades Supermarket in Pembroke, Kingston, and Annesville. $1 million is a sizable amount of money, whether it is cash or in coins or wherever they put their money is where they want. Like we have to feel that we are part of that. That is why I am so proud of Basil's Bar to continue to sponsor this program. Because if Basil's Bar withdraw his sponsorship, Jules might continue the program for a while, but he may say that he's joining a business and we have to find some sponsorship if we want to continue. That is why it have individual people who always want to make a contribution. They will say they will make a contribution. They give them a number to call along here. I don't know if they don't want to deal with that aspect of the WFM. And I want to say good night to the hotel owner. We used to refer to it as Love. It is we refer to it as Love View. I want to say, Peter, it's good to know that behind the scene, you find a little way to make sure that this program stay on air. Okay, and we really appreciate you in our sponsorship audience alongside Basil's Bar, who is the leading sponsor of this particular program. And like I said, Vincent should take a round of applause for supporting local businesses like CK Grades, because the monies that CK Grades put behind their business to support what's taking place in the Grenadines is your monies that they sponsor, and you hear the sponsor and you go in and spend it them, whether you buy a loaf of bread or a sandwich or whatever. it all adds up. And we really want to give you a round of applause for supporting local businesses like Tiki Grays and Company. It's really important that you continue to do that, because I listened to a gentleman last night on Juma Voices program giving a one by one, word for word experience in the Grenadines. I don't want to be a part of that experience at all. I have somebody who's very close to me. He's walking down there, started to walk there recently. He said to me, Uncle, you know what I'm having a problem with? Is the flies and the mosquitoes. Wow. So what he's being rewarded handsomely as far as he's concerned, compared to what he used to make elsewhere, he have to deal with those two nagging things, fly and mosquitoes. But he has to make that sacrifice. And let's find ways or a way, if it's a single, if you go to shop this weekend, give Seeky Grays and Company your first preference, because what you do that, you are making an indirect support to the people in the Grenadines, especially the ones in Union. It's really good to see that Vincent could come under one umbrella, shot by Seeky Grays, and you're making a tremendous contribution by helping Vincent and Unionites and Vincent who lives and resides in the Grenadines. It's important that we do that. And that is why I'm giving the plug for Vincent and Unionites. If you are on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, try and make it to the Methodist Church Hall tomorrow and hear what the Prime Minister and the ULP has planned for your development in the future. Don't bother with the naysayers who play in politics, right, like the Bob Francois and the Colin Graham and the Daniel Cummins. Go to hear. So you could say when you hear it, you write down what you heard, and when the time comes, you could question the Prime Minister's press secretary or somebody who do the shake-up program and say, well, the Prime Minister did make a presentation and say that he's going to provide some level of development for what took place in the Grenadines and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in general. So I'm hoping that if you're from a union and for some reason you are mainland St. Vincent and Grenadines because of what took place, try and visit and get some consultation from the Prime Minister on what his plans are and how effective the plans are going to be and how timely. I understand that Daniel Cummins and St. Lake are saying that they're going to have to put some urgency in it. I believe that Ralph Gonsalves as Prime Minister is going to do all in the interest of the development of St. Vincent and Grenadines for us to get back to some level of normalcy. But in my back of my mind, you know what I'm wondering? I'm hoping that, well, meteorologists and people who speak on weather is suggesting that we're going to get a busy hurricane season 2024, 2025, right? And we got this hurricane on July 1st. And, you know, when we were growing up, we pay attention to September, October, and November, the peak of the season. I'm hoping that one we had there is the only one we're going to have. I don't want to repeat that even with a tail end of another hurricane comes in Vincent again. So let's cross our hearts and hold our thoughts, make sure that whoever you refer to him as Almighty our nature is in our favor and could keep us out of what took place on July 1st. That terrible experience that the people in the Grenadines have and going through presently with the displacement of their home, the businesses. And let me tell you something, the tourist season and the tourism industry, according to Mr. Weeks, play a very important part in the Grenadines. And I wonder if we have enough time to make sure to put back some of the infrastructure, because our tourist season begin around November 15th until April, the end of April. You may say there's a lot of time, but if you individualize all the damage that took place in the Grenades. All sorts of businesses, hoteliers, um, water taxis, physical taxis like getting around, had a negative impact. People build we call it Airbnb and the hotels and so. The issue I heard the gentleman last time speak on Jomo Thomas's program and he said that some level of the water was contaminated and effort is being made by CWS and the hands on the ground to make sure that the water is as best as it should. I heard him making some strong statements against the management of VINLEC, but I can't support that because we know what took place on mainland St. Vincent. And to manage a multi-purpose culture like St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it ain't easy, you know. We want to have a hurricane who did what it did, and we want VINLEC and CWSA and the telecommunication company to restore all the services in 2 days. That is virtually impossible. So while I respect what was said last night, and the guy who was speaking on Jomo's program, appeared to be on the ground, I think the strong, undiplomatic choice of word last night to describe a lackluster attitude from the management and workers at VINLEC, I did not support that. But beside that, I think he was on key with all the plans that he would like to see taking place. And it's good to see that he admitted that the CEO of NEMO, Michelle Fobbs, who is an ultimate professional. I know Michelle Fobbs for a long time. She used to work at the NET Joshua Airport as a meteorologist, and she go from strength to strength, and her appointment is not political. Her appointment is based on her professionalism. She is a professional. So I was glad to hear last night from the gentleman that Michelle Fobbs did a good job in climatizing the people in the Grenades about the importance of paying attention to the hurricane season and the training that he admitted that he got through NEMO/Michelle Fobbs is benefiting him today. And I'm going to admit something to you on public radio. I was caught off guard with the last hurricane that came here on July 4th. Because I had the Lux attitude that, oh man, God, the Vincent, when the hurricane come, I get caught not even with a dry biscuit home. I didn't dive in the hurricane season. No food to eat, nothing to all. I had to eat some dry coconut and ferry and drink water. Because I had the attitude that, man, that ain't coming to me, me preparing. That ain't happening to me again. I will tell you that. If they say a storm coming and they going 5 miles an hour, I ain't gonna shop to the job, boy. Me want they in the house for 3 days, can't see myself, can't find no food to eat. No, me want to happen to me again. So, like I said, we are in a position, we as Vincent Chan, who are fortunate not to experience what the ones in the Grenades experience the way they did. And whatever little contribution you're making while you're shopping at Seeky Grays and other places that making a contribution. But I can't call anybody name because I don't know if any other brand name, trademarks, supermarket trade made any contribution. I guess it did. But I was speaking my comments on what I heard from the authorities that they compliment Seeky Grays and company for the effort so far. But once you shop there, you are a part of the development plan and providing little food and services for the people in the Grenades. And we ask you to continue to support Seeky Grays and company because they do a lot for St. Vincent and the Grenades. You know they have over 350 people working with them, right? And they also have, besides paying the NS up to date, they also have a retirement plan for their workers. So this company is a good company and we have to feel a part of it. It's a homegrown company started by Seeky Grays, who's now deceased, and his family, children, grandchildren, is making sure that legacy live on, okay? They continue to maintain not a peppercorn kind of a avenue. They continue to stay on top and be the premium number one supermarket in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know, another thing I want to discuss briefly. I think I started earlier where I think that the politics of this country sometimes has a negative impact. I told you 2 weeks ago, and I suggested to you that I am convinced within myself that Ralph Gonsalves is the right person to be Prime Minister in these trying times. My friend who follow us here, there, and everywhere, say my statement was unfair because I'm comparing Dr. Gonsalves with Dr. Friday. Well, let me remind you, they're equally qualified. And if I were Friday, I'm not Friday, and Dr. Gonsalves is Prime Minister, and he's Prime Minister for 23 years, I will be paying attention to Dr. Gonsalves' leadership and see where I could improve it when I assume the office of Prime Minister, when the people decide that. Because let me tell you something. 2013, we had our challenges. Remember that Christmas Eve flood we had? Boy, that was something else. Rain come like it never come from nowhere in the whole world. Then we had the Lassa Fray eruption. Then we had the issue of COVID-19, where I think that the Prime Minister fall down flat on his back when he decided to support the Minister of Health with the vaccine mandate. I think that Ralph Gonsalves will pay a price for that. I hope people are not at the polls. Okay, you may say, "But Kingsley, you're confusing." I am not confused. I am saying it like it is. There are individual persons who are still unemployed. There are individual people and family who are suffering because they can't pay their mortgage because the breadwinner of the families is not working because they were deemed abandoning their job because they did not take the vaccine which was prescribed for frontline workers. What do you want me to do? Ignore that? Not because I'm in love with Ralph Gonsalves politics that means I have to support everything he say and do. No way. I could name two things that Dr. Gonsalves will probably clout himself for during the course of his political career. Is when he made a proposal in 2009 for us to change, bring a referendum to change the constitution. Vincent voted. No, Dr. Gonsalves will not support you with that. Over 65% of the Vincent voted no. And the NDP fell down on the job and take that defeat to Ralph Gonsalves and the 2009 referendum and say, oh, they go win the 2010 election. Ralph Gonsalves beat like assassin. Because you have to focus on the politics. You have to focus on the important thing. I think when I heard Dr. Friday make his presentation in Parliament, sincerely, I say, like the Jim Cole, in cup of tea this morning, down in the comments. I listened to him this morning and I said to myself, really, politics has make the best of us. Sounds stupid sometimes, you know. What took place in St. Vincent again with the natural disasters that we have and having, and some man-made disaster where people losing their life by the guns, is something that is going to affect the wholesale development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we have to understand that the politics of development is important in these times. And whether, as old people say, Betty bring good and Betty bring bad, if bad come, all of us. You know something I could vaguely remember when Dr. Gonsalves suggested that he's going to take, I think it's, people could say, hate me out every dollar to put in some funds for us to have our own monies when, if anything had happened, we could go into our own purse and take up. People pay politics to that, you know, and say, you want to kill us with taxation. If you know how fruitful that fund is today, and I'm hoping tomorrow I will be given a chance to ask to have Gonsalve. How strong is that fund? And if we go to dip into some of that. People did play politics and say, you want to erase up tax, this, that. 1 cent, you know. Yes, I agree with you. One, a full basket. And it is for something important. It's for the infrastructure development of St. Vincent and Grenadines. If and when a natural disaster like how the hurricane came and destroyed some level of the aspect of development, that was the money is put aside for. And we need to understand, we will not agree with everything politicians say, but there are certain things that they say will make sense, and we have to capitalize on that. Okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a break and come back. Is 17 minutes, 30 seconds on to 9. I'll be back shortly.
It's Feedback with host Kingsley DeFreitas. This and every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. for 2 full hours, right here on WeFM 99.9. Join him as he brings different guests weekly on this informative and interactive program. It's Feedback. To be a part of the Feedback program, call us at 457-9997 or send us a WhatsApp at 457-9997. It's Feedback.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingstown. Established for over 38 years, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance. We have a set menu and 3 a la carte menus to choose from, and we are flexible to all requests. We go above and beyond to serve you. Basil's Bar Kingstown, where it's more than just a meal, it's an adventure. Call for reservations at 457-2713.
18 minutes before 9 o'clock in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Listen to WeFM. We are located at Windy Point, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Frequency assigned 99.9. Yes, there's come out somebody reminding you that they listen to us online and they want to know if the audio is up. Yes, the audio is supposed to be up. And let me tell you something, right? I might not be as energized as I normally is, but I'm a little bit disappointed with some people who support the NDP. Because you might not be affected directly. You may jump and say that the NDP is doing the right thing by playing the politics game, and we can't be doing that. I like I say, I don't hide behind no frequency and say I don't listen. This is a nice radio, this is the WeFM. Because they carry 2 different complexion of the politics landscape in St. Vincent and Grenadines. And if you listen to Dougie sometime on nice radio, you think nothing happening in St. Vincent good. We have to give Val Gonsalve some credit. You know, if I were Dr. Friday, you know what I would be saying? Boy, be glad of you and me. Maybe just do talking and let you face what you have to face. Because, you know, being Prime Minister now it ain't easy, you know. Dr. Gonsalve have to start thinking about money, stupid salaries, and retirement benefit from tomorrow, right? You have to start finding ways for money to manifest itself. That is why he went to Parliament and get Parliament permission. That is why he went to some of the local commercial banks to see if he could get some of the overdraft that they normally provide for government. All in the effort to make sure that St. Vincent and Grenadines. I drove through Carla and I look at one of these schools. The roof wrap up like a wet roll of toilet paper. It's taxpayers' monies have to go and refurbish that schools, you know. And you take it easy that there's a concept in St. Vincent that when they build a church, you could build it anyhow because it's a church. It could be used as a hurricane shelter, nothing wrong to it. Schools and churches get damaged. There are people who were scheduled to go at school and churches as hurricane shelter. They couldn't even go because some of the roof were destroyed. And you think it's right to play politics with this issue this time? It couldn't be right. Leave the politics for politicking when the time comes when Rob Gonsalves call the election. Beat him with a battering ram if you get a chance. But now, I think you should support him. I think you should give your support generally to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and support the businesses, like I say, who making a tremendous effort to make lives better. You just use your thoughts. Hurricane came and July 4th, and you stayed home. You were out of electricity, you blame Vinlec. You're out of telecommunication, internet, you say Lyman Digital now do nothing. And you had no water coming to your pipe. And you only suffer 3 days or 4 days in the wilderness. I suffer at least 15 days with no current. And I felt so disgusted. Imagine these people who had a house, who had a shanty, who had some sort of roof over their head and don't have none at the moment. And, you know, it's very rich people by our standards who insure their houses. And especially if you pay the mortgage. And, you know, one thing I want to see happen, you know, that Dr. Gonsalves bring a bill, right? That when a financial institution lend you money to construct a home, they must be responsible for the insurance and the reinsurance. Yes, they will pass it back on to you, but for you to concentrate to pay a mortgage and you may have a loan for a vehicle, and every 1 year pass, you have to put aside money to reinsure your house. I would like to see that they find a way to bring a bill that when credit unions and banks lend you money, because let me tell you something, don't bother nobody who tell you, boy, I just don't build my house there. Well, we applaud you. But if you build a house and you owe a financial agency, it's not your property until you finish paying for it. So I would like to see something come where they bring a bill to Parliament, and it must be supported by the NDP, that once you get a loan through the financial to build yourself a home, they should be responsible for the reinsurance of it every year. And I'm hoping that this next year that Rob Gonsalves and the ULP will put things in place to making sure that the building code must be in effect. I want to see where they say every house building from now on must have a water tank. Because we have to plan for the development, the long-term development. I mean, somebody gave me something, and I don't even mention it because I think now is the wrong time to mention that. You be interested to hear what they say. And I believe what they say, because getting quality material and quantity material is challenging. When we get some material, it is not quality material, we may say, oh, an effort is being made to assist people. But we have to insist that when we get in assistance, the quality of the material must be up there. So when you attach them and you build a home, your home will withstand certain amount of wind. I mean, I'm so convinced now that I'm from the era where we used to use a hammer and galvanized nail to put on galvanized on our house roof. I'm convinced that the new art by Gary Construction, because I got some experience, he did our house roof recently, by screwing down the galvanized is better. Because the amount of wind I saw in the last hurricane that came here, I thought more house roof in terms of galvanized will be blowing off, but it appears that the screwing down of the galvanized onto the rafters and the lats and things seem to be much better than when you use a we call them again? Galvanized nail. I mean, galvanized nail was in my past. My father did that. But now we did some repair recently by Geary Construction, who do the program here in Thousand Heights. He uses screws. And I am convinced that old people are very knowledgeable. I can remember my father tell me, me ain't get in the house and let me get some paper tape, You know the paper tape was for? Was for me to tape an X on the glass. So it will hold it together in case it crumbled. I know of a house in King Garden, every single glass pane in that house was broken out by the hurricane. Why? They closed it down, and when the air pocket occurred during the hurricane, all the glass shattered. It's a good thing the persons had them tape it, paper tape and newspaper, so they stood there for a while and they didn't create no physical harm to the occupants of the house. So that is something that I learned from my father, and I see it demonstrated in other rural areas where people do that. I know of a policeman who tell me he had to open an issue, or what we call it a manhole, because if you have drop seeding, those also built with drop seeding instead of the closed pool effort and things like that. But you know why I like, come on, I like to sleep at night and hear the rain fall and the natural galvanize. It's really refreshing to see that there. I last night I fell asleep. I had a good sleep because I think I did it last night. I hear the rain fell for a long time and natural galvanize. So Kingsley, your house, you have sitting here, boy, that we don't see him. Have the water coming down. I feel it is you can feel the rain. Yeah, it's a nice feeling to hear the rain drops and the galvanize coming down. Yeah, of course it sounds nice. Sleep good. You say, wait, rain coming out there? Yeah. The time is 7:20. It's 7 minutes on to 9. Give us a call at 457-9997. We are going live on Facebook, and we see lots of people. Cameras go to show through there to see if anything water. We know you probably have in your battery up there. If it's water reading, we will read it, and you can send your WhatsApp at 457-9997. So anything interesting that may come out?
Yeah. I have some stuff here that you could. I have some stuff here that you could beat your chest with, man.
Well,
Anyway,
you don't expect me to be good as I normally is, come on.
all right. Anyway, Andy Freitas and Valerie says hello.
Yeah, but if it's too listen to high, I know for sure then people listening. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Someone says here, I'm listening to another station. One would think that nothing good is happening in SVG.
I don't afraid to call this station Nice Radio. Nice
Right.
Radio has that format.
Well,
Quite baby format. Not
well, if you want to see it, you could log on to our Facebook page, where all the comments have been posted.
Oh, yeah, let them know they can find it there.
Right.
Yes.
So also you are keeping it real. Give credit where it is warranted, warrant, and licks where it is deserved.
Well, I tell you something. I'm not going to fall for the caption keeping it real, because when I listen to Poyer sit on the program with Abraham, and when I listen to him, I hear nothing more than nonsense. At one time, I pinched myself to see if I'm in my washroom sitting down. Nothing more. Okay, I'm going to call the word in the radio. I think he permitted to spell it SAITTT one time. I said, oh, Jesus. I don't know what this guy that's funny says saying. And you know what is annoying me is my friend. I don't they refer to him as father. Remember, God says we don't refer to no man and out father beside him. But brother Abraham, he know that Mr. Poyer is talking such a nonsense, and he's allowed Poyer to chat like a chatting about a whole bunch of nonsense. But we have to remember, our country is based on every single individual development. Whether you are a person living in the street or trying to make ends meet, you are making some level of contribution. Whether you shop there, here, and everywhere, your money is going to the central government, and you're making a financial impact on the consolidated fund at St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So don't treat yourself slightly. I went down to Bukoment, where Siki Grade has this somewhere, and a gentleman came up to me and said, you know me? Well, I recognize him because he resembles somebody who lives close to the gardens. And I say, you know, like those? He said, yes. He said, brother, I am 99.9% accurate with every Tuesday night. And I said, brother, you know who I'm speaking about, and I really appreciate you in our audience. Good to know that you listen. I want to welcome home a gentleman who sat on last week program with Brother Gary. We used to call, I know him as Leafy Ross. I think he's now Dr. Ross. Good to know that you're home for a time. And if you want to know where I'm going Sunday, I'm going to church on Sunday at the Glad Tidings Tabernacle, because I understand my old-time Sunday school teacher, Winston William Davis is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and he's going to do the preaching, teaching at Glad Tidings Tabernacle on Sunday. So I'm going to church on Sunday to hear William Davis preach. So that's my plan for thing. So send your WhatsApp. See if you have any WhatsApp there.
No, we're not done as yet, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you have shop business?
Yeah.
Go ahead with them.
Yeah. We have much here to
Those
keep
on
in
the Facebook we did it with.
Someone writes, Andy Fred, a lot of people put politics ahead of people and the country. That a lot of people put politics ahead of people and the country. All right.
Let me tell you something. Somebody mentioned me a while ago that the NDP proposed to make some level of financial contribution of $100,000. Well, that's nice. I don't know which aspect of development tackling, but somebody say is the school.
Well, I'm saying,
aspect.
good night. The NDP made a sizable contribution as well for the children.
Yes, I understand. It's $100,000. Whatever lift it be, it will go a long way to assist the people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in terms of getting the readiness for this new school term that coming sometime in September. So it's good to see that the NDP find some monies from their coffers to make. But that's a sizable contribution, because if I get $100,000 also, you can't talk to me. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. And let me welcome my friend. Yes, Anita. Welcome. Good to know you listening. My friend, I think I saw him at the airport. Yeah. Beckwamate, welcome home. Good to know that you are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and all those persons who are here and the ones who are leaving after the carnival. We appreciate you being in our company, and we just encourage you to come back. I let many people know. People will say, a lot of people do come for carnival. From my experience, more people come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in August. More people come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in August, okay? Yeah. And that is why I am always impressed with Lanford Week's presentation, because I heard Lanford Week speaking a presentation some time ago, responding to somebody who was suggesting that all the hotels were filled to capacity in the just conclude Vincy Mass. That is not true. That is never the truth. The guest houses and the OBB and them do relatively well, but all the hotels was not full, according to some insensitive reports some people do make when they can't speak with any level of maturity. They go say anything that they want. It sound nice. Okay? So that is not necessarily true. I'm hoping that Dr. Gonzalez come with a comprehensive consultation tomorrow and Thursday, and Vincent will be better prepared to hear what he said, and whenever he finished, we could hold him to his word. Because, well, I know that I am expecting not about the best on Ralph Gonzalez, because I tell you already, I am convinced that this time he's ordained to be Prime Minister. Some of the challenges that we see, and he took us to where we are. You could remember that Dr. Gonzalez said we were on the cusp of economic takeoff. That course took some time before he came. Just after we had that big consultation down in the Sanders Hotel, the World Cup cricket, I used to feel the vibes of money falling out the sky. All of a sudden now, June 4th came in, put everything back on the back burner. And Dr. Gonzalez and Europe, we have to find ways, methods and to deal with this shortfall. I hear telecommunication companies say that they withdrawing certain bills for some time of the month. If we withdrawing something, we never been paid. We didn't get the service and the services. So don't come in on the other. Try something different. Yeah, I mean, I would love to hear that all three utilities company for them, yeah, decide that you will get the entire services that they offer for July free. So I would expect a bill until the end of August, but they may say that it's taking it to the extreme, okay? Yeah, they may say that. So while we waiting your calls, we hope that you are paid attention to the discussion. A man yesterday I never say you got left with price poses in a rat. I say, I don't know why they just call it a rat. I used to go up street up a pool long time and you and I become very good friends, but and they just call it a rat. But you know, I have to ask you your real name, you know. You can call and tell me your real name, right? Yeah, but that's somebody that I know for quite some time. I don't think he's offended when I refer to him as rat, right? Okay, so those persons who think I shouldn't say so on national radio, the guy who I refer to, he don't take it personally. He just laughed at me yesterday, and I pretended I wasn't laughing, but I was really break up inside. Eh? And I want to tell all the reggae enthusiasts, I hope that DJ Monty come back on this Saturday night. I enjoy the Reggae Blast with DJ Monty. Yeah, DJ Monty sat here. He used to work at VFM, and it was the best reader for that announcement that ever sat at VFM. I think he used to do a good job. And beside all about the Reggae Blast, I think that DJ Monty had the best format for the Reggae Blast. Not saying that Val Matthias didn't try, you know, but I just think that DJ Monty format was the best. So you go to see. And let me remind listeners of VFM, this Thursday night from 8 until 10, be a part of the Gospel Train hosted by Brother Gary Carnabash. And I find last week was quite interesting. And I hope that you bring William Davis on. So I will sit tuned to VFM to make sure that the Gospel Train will be as effective as it normally is. Because I noticed they have a macho listenership, and that is important that radio station format is about providing services for all genre of the life. We seem to have a first caller. Good evening.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Hey, good evening, sir.
How are you? How are you? How are you?
Fine, thank you, Officer Peters.
Audio was talking about the contribution that the NDP proposing the 100,000, but I look at them and I understand they're trying to raise that money to assist voters who vote.
Yes, I understand. I understand the money that they're trying to raise, or they have in their possession as a contribution is for the education aspect of the development of what we're going to have, and the UAP people have planned for the development stages that are going to take place soon. So let's hope that they fulfill that pledge, and it will go to the benefit of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
You have more information on that. I was thinking, right? With all this house that gets destroyed in Union Island and Kennewan and so on, I was thinking that if when they start to construct the houses, then that they could use concrete on the roof. You know, they put them in a order, like a line.
Mm-hmm.
So that they use concrete whether or not and they foot through. If they want to go up a second floor, they could use the concrete and they like the column.
Yeah, but that may be a good suggestion, but Mr. Peters, from my experience, right, when my father built our house in Fountain area, a part of it was concrete roof, right? But over a period of time, the concrete was weakened with the rain and the sun, and it started to shatter and it was leaking. And don't care you plastered, it never stopped leaking. So we did break it off and put the whole house in galvanized. And when you have a house have concrete roof, it uses up more energy, and it's too hot at night, especially if you have a hot day and no rain come to cool down the place. So while it is a good suggestion, it's something that people have to think about before they actually do it. Yeah.
No, I was thinking, no, in my time, you know, that it's the chemical thing and so on. So the heat, I don't think the heat would be a problem because you have it, you know, and so on, and you have about going south, the house, and the house property, and so on. So I don't think the heat will be there might be a problem with the concrete, like the here and there.
Yes. Because something I pay attention to, Mr. Peters. When I pass across some construction site, they use BRC, and the BRC they use, it ain't rusty like a old piece of pipe. I wonder if that's the best quality BRC could be available. This thing rusty, if you cast it into concrete, it's going to fester and the rust is going to manifest itself. And I'm wondering if the BRC that I'm seeing in Simulation Graining is the best quality that they have to offer for people providing these services.
You know, we have to try something. And finally, I noticed a change in route now going down to the airport.
What is it?
I noticed a change in route going down to the airport.
They changed the
route headed towards the airport.
Oh yes. Because here what happened, right? I was going to the airport some early morning, and Mr. Peters, the trees and them in the acres fell down. And I found myself, I can't go left, I can't go right. So I started to use on the Carla road. But today I went back to my original road to go through acres because I understand they clean the road up. And it wasn't the best cleaning job, but it was passable.
But, you know, the road, you know, I don't take chance with it, you know, because if you get a breakdown, they because to get distance.
Yeah, I know. When you say going through acres, Mr. Peters, a lot of things that's run through my mind. I just hope I meet a rubber man, not a rubber woman.
Right.
Don't get a puncture.
Right.
And it reminds me of a man. I think he done dead. Enter your cat out into teeth it.
Okay. And so I noticed that's what I had to
Yes. I normally blow when I pass. I say, well, we make sure you.
Sometimes I just go a little late, you know, because you know I before them.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that age where the knees gain some problem now, you know. So I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thanks
for calling. You're still as observant as you always is as a policeman. Eh? Yeah. 4579997. 4579997. That's what you send your WhatsApp and your call. I noticed we had an international call earlier, but the lines are open, so you can call now. And let me say good evening, and I hope this post is listening because I spoke to Mrs. Ross. I think she will probably be listening. Beverly Bob Ross. I think that your mom may be listening somewhere in the States, and I'm referring to Miss Elsie Bob. I hope that they put up the computer so you could hear that I'm still thinking about you. And I know the sweetest one live in St. Lucia, right? Yeah, the African looking one. But all of them is my family. I really enjoy it. Good to see that you're following me wherever I go, Mrs. Bob. Good to know that. And how I know? Your daughter told me about secret grades yesterday. So I'm making sure. Yeah. They had a secret that they tell me nothing. I mean, somebody asked me to say hello to Anta. Anta, I know you're playing hard to get, but you got a hard time playing hard to get. Mrs. Jones says to tell her hello, and you may say, "Oh, he just used Miss Jones' name for to get me to call." Okay, well, I will refer the number to you now. I have the number here. I'll send it to your phone. Right? So let's change the topic. We dealt with the issue of the businesses and how important businesses to Simulation Graining. And once you're making a purchase and you're supporting businesses in Simulation Graining, especially CK grades and enterprises, you are doing yourself justice. We also spoke about the importance of government went to Parliament to deal with the issue of overdraft, appropriation bill, and things like that to help us to get some money to deal with the issues in the grannies. And then we can probably trade again and deal with something else that are a bit more. And there to the negative politics of the NDP and every aspect. I mean, it's just criticize to criticize sake. There's nothing that the Guns Ammunition is doing now that's going to make life easier for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm hoping that tomorrow night I will see both Francois and Colin Graham and Margaret London at the consultation. Well, you know, if Margaret came there, she will be listening and recorded. I'm hoping to pick up my friend Frank De Silva. I need a bodyguard, so I'm going to carry Frank with me tomorrow night to make sure they see partner. Okay, right. Yeah. We're here up once I see the partner before. Candyman, I know you're listening. I need you to call me and let me know if you have any discussion on the content of what was going to be presented by the Prime Minister. I noticed that you did the ad, and I want to make another statement. When Ralph Gonsalves gave Cian Marshall that second chance when he played Mike Tyson when he was overseas, Ralph Gonsalves really is a good man, you know. I was reluctant when they said Candyman should be the Prime Minister's press secretary. I openly supported Cian Marshall. But I want to take back that I am convinced that the job Candyman is doing is more effective than Cian Marshall. Ralph Gonsalves couldn't find a better person to replace Cian Marshall with. But one thing I will tell you, Candyman, you see Cian going to study to be a lawyer? We have a call. Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah.
I guess you're hearing us, but we're not hearing you too.
Hello?
We're not hearing you too clearly. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Still Marshall is a second chance. I think he got a third chance.
Well, I
remember you say all them thing about the
yes.
people in the diaspora, you call them dog walkers.
Oh yeah, when I was on cross country radio,
and
yes.
They delayed the appointment for about 2 months.
Yes.
And then they sneak him in at the town hall meeting.
Yes.
So you get more than one chance. And Candyman got a couple of chances too.
I can't recall that. Leave the boy alone. No, I think I am impressed with. I'm impressed with Candyman's position as the acting press secretary. I think he's doing a good job.
Remember they moving from the
API?
We used to be at API, yes.
Yeah.
I think he had something with one of the employees there.
Well,
he was on video with some confusion, and then he was on video again with the audio.
I think they had some robust exchange between he and somebody, but to the
yeah, twice the manager and one of the other employees too.
So he's calmed down and he's doing a good job. I'm really impressed with his presentation. Press secretary, he got 9 lives, and he was at NBC too. I think they suspended him from NBC already too. And then you go over to Extreme. I don't know what happened over Extreme. So Candyman, he got 9 lives. He's a survivor. Well, I hope he called.
He's supporting the right party so he could always eat.
Oh.
You know where his bread is, his butter is, the bread and butter is.
So that's the secret. You have to support the party in office. Oh, okay. I might have to do like Candyman, change my recipe to benefit me, because right now they're gonna hold the follow.
Not only that, Bonnie did know that too. Bonnie was with Labour Party, Milton Cato, his uncle. He jumped over to NDP with Mitchell. NDP lost, jumped to ULP. So you have got food in the table.
Well, I found that part of them policy there.
You were saying something about Poya and Abraham. We were saying about the show.
No, somebody used a word to describe keeping it real. So I say I don't want to be a part of that caption because when I listen to Poya, he talking nothing more than nonsense. And my friend Abraham, who used to appear on the cross country program with me, just allow him to continue his diatribe and then come and try to see if he could polish it off. So I'm not gonna subscribe to anything but keeping it real, keeping it like nonsense. Yeah.
You don't get much talk on the program. Abraham will be talking for an hour and a half.
Well, Abraham is the host.
Between an hour and a half. He had the longest monologue of any talk show host.
Well,
radio program that I know.
The man
For an hour and a half.
The man finding sponsorship for the program, and he's the host, so he has to take advantage of the time allotted to him. Okay, so don't beat up on my friend Abraham. Beat up on Poya. Beat up on Poya. Yeah, beat up on Poya. I want to trim off the radio.
No, I missed up on Poya.
Oh, you like?
Abraham, a couple of times I hear you telling callers they must call the NDP program when they have some questions.
Well, they do me that already. Remember they do me
on the program.
But remember they do me that some Saturday morning.
Go ahead, sorry.
Remember they do me that some Saturday morning. Call like Douglas did me that. Yeah, I must have called and question the word. But anything come out of nice with the NDP.
I don't like when they do that. When a host tell you, "Oh, call that person's program."
Yes.
Because you might not be able to call that person's program. These political programs of both parties, when you call in to challenge or criticize, the host kind of divert you from that.
Yeah.
And tell you, "Oh, we're discussing that. We think about topic A, B, and C."
Yeah.
And then you pause and you comment on topic A, B, and C, and then you move on to the next caller. So you don't get to challenge or question anything. You know, the politician, right?
Yes.
The politician, generally they can answer questions. They know how to answer questions. They could circle around the question without answering it. But the host of the radio program, they're more uncomfortable if you ask the question than the politician themselves. The politician could take care of the question, they know how to answer the question.
Oh, well, of course, yes. But
and when Frank's talking about Dr. Thompson, Abraham don't tell him call Dr. Thompson radio program and ask Dr. Thompson. He allow him. So why you telling other people they must call NDP program and you don't tell Frank that?
Frank,
have a good night.
Okay, Queen. Frank is exceptional. Don't worry.
All
right. Okay. 457-99-97. Give us a call at that number, or you can send us your WhatsApp. And let me say special good evening to all those persons who follow us on our Facebook page at WeFM 999. Yes, okay. 3 9s, yes. That's where you find us up there. And lots of people are locked on their video the discussion up there, and it's good to see. Let me say, we seem to have a caller. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I don't have to ask how you're doing because the voice sounds strong.
I saw you at Building Loans yesterday, outside at Building Loans.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I went there to pay some attention to something for somebody, so I saw when you passed.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope things are going well there now, so that those folks who have
well, I tell you something.
Money are well spent.
I tell you something. The person I went to check there for is somebody who has a double Anthony, right? And they seem to be in order, and I felt good going home and reported to them that Building Loan seemed to be having his nose and his nostril above the water, and seems it's on its way back where it used to be. So it's good. It's a good sign. It's a good sign.
Beautiful, because I remember Kate, old lady, had.
Yeah. Every time I go to Building Loans, I always inquire about that particular lady. But when I found out from somebody about how the money is end up so much, it's because of this. It's because of this sizable investment that she had. So they paid her a very good piece of money, but because of the size of investment she had, they had a relatively good portion left for her still. But that was the problem. Yes.
Yeah, but still, we understood that other people got their money without much difficulty because of their influence.
Well, it could be their influence. It could be their influence or the name. Okay.
That is all right. that matter I had drawn to your attention with respect to the old lady at South Rivers.
Yes.
Any results yet with the PM?
Well, remember I spoke to you last week about that, so I do.
Yeah, but yes.
I know the premise.
Okay.
He got information, but he did say to me, Kingsley, this is a little busy time for me, and he would try to make some time. But I didn't think he went up there as yet. But
that is very sad.
Yeah, I remind him.
Very sad.
I remind Candyman to tell him, and I hope that he remember to go and make a
Okay.
Yes.
All right, good, right.
Yeah, because it's a Providence, and also me and Rob Gonzalez job, you know, it's a hard time now, you know.
Yeah, but hey, he has to take blame for some of these things which is making his job hard.
Like what?
Because
He could take blame for Hurricane Beryl?
Well, hey, this one. Now, you have distinctly declared that you are decidedly a supporter, right?
No, I am not a supporter of ULP. I'm a well-wisher.
Okay.
I support the NDP, but I want to do nonsense.
Well, exactly. But you're different from me because I would vote against government when I don't think that they're doing well.
That's you're right.
That's why I was prompted to vote against the NDP when they had seemingly abandoned our agriculture.
Yes.
And this is what I have against this regime. In 2001, they promised that they were going to revitalize agriculture. They said they were going to fix the feed roads, but up to now, nothing has been done.
Well, I agree. I agree
prepared.
with you. I went over Fireburn and Diamond sometime last week, and Mr. Provi, I nearly lost to fight the main road. The road of them so bad. I go down a hole. I try to push me out.
Well, look at that.
Yes, so I agree with you. Some of the bypass road need attention.
I had the experience in recent years where I used to drive up to a certain plot of land in the mountain. In a little 600 Fiat, no four-wheel drive.
Yes.
And a fellow who has a 5-ton truck can't go there now. You could beat that. So this is where we are.
That's
and now
terrible.
we are, a couple of years ago, this administration said, listen up, we can't depend on agriculture to improve our population, our people. We have to go to tourism. Look where we are now. Now they're talking about agriculture and they have concern about food security. We used to be shipping ton loads of carrots abroad. Now we are importing. This is where we are and this is why we're suffering.
No,
this is what we have to address.
But you're making sense because I went into a leading supermarket. I went to the Seeky Grace study to give them some support. I went looking for sweet pepper and tomatoes. I can't find one.
Well, good, because farmers can't get to their land.
Yes, terrible.
You see the point?
Yes.
We could have been supplying those properly without much difficulty because we did it in the past.
Definitely.
But these fellows have failed us. Now, another thing that has humbugged us is our because of the roads, the farmers cannot attract support from the banks because the bank, you understand?
Yes.
You have a project when you have a farming project when you don't have roads to go to the farm that could impress the bank. You catch what I mean?
Yes,
so this is where we are.
Yes.
We suffering all wrong. And I support your position with respect to Grays and so on. Grays and Bonady and Vera. They are conscientious local companies.
Definitely.
Who were interested in the society.
Yes.
But one thing I want to draw to their attention, I've noticed in recent years that business houses are covering over the drains with concrete so that they can access their property with big trucks. And this is preventing our conscientious sanitation workers from being able to sweep the drains properly. It's a disgrace that we have permitted there. We chased the vendors off the road, but the vendors didn't do that kind of damage. You catch what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have some areas, you have 15 foot.
Well, no, you're right, because when you pass by a fried chicken and fried sometime, if you don't careful, these trends come from the drain. Jesus, man.
Yes.
Blow your head off the road.
Yeah,
I agree.
we have to address those matters there, man. But I'm saluting you and asking you to keep your program strong, because it offers the avenue through which Vincentians could discuss the problems which are affecting them, so that we could plan how we're going forward, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you stay strong, my brother.
Okay, Mr. Providence. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. But no, we say makes sense. I went to Fireburn. Well, I was low, man. I come on. I want to go on. Hello. If you see as the state of the road, I pass by Mr. Eustace them land there too. Because my grandmother, lady and Bob, who's now deceased, have some land in a place called Canwell. So I went up there. Jesus, Father. When I hear they say that farmers' produce getting mechanical damage when they trying to get the produce out, I used to say, but the mechanical go up and trouble the farmers and farm. But you know what they meant? When the vehicle walking from one left to right, from south to east, all the food just rotating, and then if you notice again, watching some farmers and cannot doing, them packing the thing in them more high and then go on and tap them, go sit down. You can't be doing that. When the produce reach like 60 grains and then to buy them, the quality is deteriorating because people want to sit and pack all kind of thing on them. And then I realized some of the mechanical damage that we have with the produce is because of the state of the road. It is terrible. And I agree with Mr. Providence that the ULP, well, they have an agriculturist as the deputy leader and acting prime minister, Montgomery Daniel. That's the biggest disappointment for me from the ULP, that we have an agriculturist who sat as Minister of Agriculture. Nothing happened under him. And that is his profession now. We put a lawyer to be the Minister of Agriculture. And I can remember Ralph Gonzalez telling me a time that he has the agriculture industry at heart because he Suboto Caesar is minister. That guy was the guy Ryan, Len Grant, and somebody else. I said, Prime Minister, you be crazy because you have 4 countrymen and the executive arm of the Ministry of Agriculture that being that you're paying attention. Take a look at the roads. Take a look at what the farmers have to go through to get their produce out. And Montgomery, who is an agriculturist, didn't deliver as an agriculturist. And that is something that I am disappointed from a European standpoint that they don't make a better effort. Yes, I hear the promise on the political platform. They will make sure that 1,000 acres of land go back into banana. May you see that yet? Suboto didn't come in that thing and say, cut back and plant back again with a dull cutlass, a dull tree and a water boot, and you have a white shirt. I mean, I laugh. Suboto sees a guy in a van and feel with a long sleeve white shirt, say, Operation cut back and plant back. I say, watch how the fool will be here. Watch how the fool will be. What I tell you, boy, send the fool to the 4 days, something else. The time is simply so the girl needs is 29 minutes on to 10 o'clock. Let's take another break. Come back with your thoughts right here at VFM.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingstown. Established for over 38 years, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance. We have a set menu and 3 a la carte menus to choose from, and we are flexible to all requests. We go above and beyond to serve you. Basil's Bar Kingstown, where it's more than just a meal, it's an adventure. Call for reservations at 457-2713.
It's Feedback with host Kingsley De Freitas. This and every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. for 2 full hours, right here on WeFM 99.9. Join him as he brings different guests weekly on this informative and interactive program. It's Feedback. To be a part of the Feedback program, call us at 457-9997 or send us a WhatsApp at 457-9997. It's Feedback.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. Leave me alone. Oh, I beg you, come off me, boy. Come on, nigga. Oh, let me go, mama, go, mama, go, mama. Watch this. You tell me stand up. You tell me be strong. Hold up your head up high. Look up in the sky. You tell me hold on. Never let go. Do the thing that is right so that you will see tomorrow. Tell me all of my head high. Brothers are reaching to the sky. Tell me don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, my son, don't you cry. Tell me all of my head high. No all of them who jealous I. Tell me be strong, be strong, be strong. Conscious youth, be strong. The man with the anger, he tell me be strong. The man with the anger, he tell me don't run.
Yeah, 28 minutes on to 10 o'clock in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let me say a special good evening to Mrs. Freddie Ballantyne. Good to know that you're listening. Good evening to Patsy Holer. Patsy Holer is that lady who called. And her name is Patsy, by referring to a former teacher and somebody who is listening. Somebody asked me if Janet Matthews is in St. Vincent. No, Janet Matthews is out of St. Vincent. She's somewhere in the States. And a guy meet me out at Annesville this morning. 25 minutes on to 8 o'clock this morning and asked me for going on the program tonight. He started prepared 12 hours before. His name is Joseph Arthur. Yeah, good afternoon, Joseph Arthur. Good to know that you're listening. you see the kind of fun that we have on the radio station? People preparing a whole 12 hours before. Yeah, so good to know that you're listening, Josie. Yeah, Josie, the same Joseph Arthur, yeah. If I go to him, we are related, so I must know that well. And Patsy Holer, a former teacher. And let me say good evening to Tommy King. He's related to Curtis. Of course, all the King in top, they had a whole cricket team one time, you know. Tommy King. He used to be the fast bowler and he was up. He's a man that used to live up with Arthur Williams, right? Yeah, former attorney general and politician. He used to bring the bat and the ball when he out the game done. That kind of cricketer he be now. He provide the bat and the ball because he had the resources, but when he out, game done. He never out. You catch him, he say ball boom. You bowl him, he say he win the ball, he stop. You catch him LBW, he say no the ball, he pat before he. I said, well, he was something else, yeah. So we're hoping that other people. We seem to have a persistent caller there, so we just take him and see what's happening. Hey, Bongo Shaka. Hello.
Yeah, greetings.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Greetings, Bongo Shaka. We hear you loud and clear.
You hear me?
Yes, I.
I ain't hear you through my phone at all.
Well, listen to the radio.
Only if I put on the radio, so I'm not hearing you through the phone.
Yeah, but you go ahead. We hear you. We're having a feedback.
Okay, I just barely hearing you now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, greetings, Kingsley, and
come on,
my brethren there, and the rest of your listeners, yes, both in St. Vincent Grenadines and the rest of the world. Let me say first, thank you first. I'm saying it on radio after the storm. Say my heart felt, feeling for all these people. Yeah. As we say, we sympathize, empathize with them and so on, because I've gone through a little myself, but I know people in much worse situation than I. And through the blessing of the Almighty Father, I've saved enough of all of, enough of I and I life, or people lives who could be more detrimental, because some trees I see that fell mystically between like houses, the way they were placed by mighty Father hands, It give you time to sort yourself, and I don't want to get involved in too much of the discussion, because I think people is taking it too much in a partisan political way and too much of name calling and all these things. In situations like these, you gotta more come together and show that love and to inspire people and to give people that strength and to give the Almighty thanks that it couldn't be worse, So all these things that happen around us is a warning for we to look ahead and to make a lot of changes, even in our infrastructures and so on, in ourselves, in our attitudes towards one another, towards that love and that fellowship and charity, could it be enhanced more in situations like this. So it's a learning lesson. Because I've been going to a lot of meditation. Sometimes I did 2-3 days in saying a word and sorting my irate, and not even getting no vibe sweet. I'm thinking about a lot of people who don't even have a piece of bread in these times. So I don't even feel hungry things, many of the time. So I'm trying to follow on it, right? But it's something I've been looking at, and I don't hear nobody pushing on it, right? Is that, okay, Kingsley, you guess that we have at least 30,000 homes. Let's say that, right? We may have more, but just got this figure of 30,000. Now, if you take 1% of that, which will be about 3,000 homes, I'm asking myself, why there no organization is making a plea for homeowners, people who can afford to maybe house a small family, or at least even two youths, or elderly person or whatever. And maybe if they have a place, if some kind of organization or the government organization them can maybe help that person to enhance the place, You might need a little change of a window, 2 or whatever. Somebody may have a downstairs. It can be used. It might take a week or 2 to get it up running and so on, and maybe electricity, water, and all these things. So I'm asking myself, why nobody is thinking about that? And if you have even these 3,000 homes, you have, say, 1 or 2 persons in each home. That's 6,000 people right there. Especially people in the Grenadines Island, all the islands. I don't want to single out none, Because damages, as people in the Christian society, sin is sin, no matter how small or big you perceive it, right? So I'm looking at that. I'm searching my head on it, and listening out to hear if anyone, even within organization or government sector, will sitting.
Bongo Shaka, the Prime Minister, should be having some level of consultation tomorrow at the Methodist Church Hall. If you have time, I'm inviting you to come on there and express this position, because I think this is an avenue where he could encourage Vincent Chan to try to house some of the people who are disenfranchised in the Grenadines. So it's a good suggestion, but we may get a better view of what you're suggesting from the Prime Minister tomorrow.
And Kingsley, one thing, as I said, preparedness will be the key and watchword for life. No matter what sector you're in, personal, governmental, or whatever. On the station, on Sunday programs, a few weeks or a month or so ago, I reiterate about the Grenadines Island bringing in so much in the tourist industry in the capital of this country, and much attention being paid to the wharf and jetties. I even mentioned that in case of a disaster, anything like that, these things comes in very important. And when you look at the state of some of these areas where these wharf or jetties, it is unbelievable. So these are things that we got to look at, enhance, do them strong properly. Even if 1, 2, or 3 in certain sheltered areas sometime where they can take a boat or 2, we need to enhance on these. And as I say, development of a country, you need infrastructures, roads, bridges, seaports, and jetties and wharf, and in particular feeder roads. You call all reiterating it. For years I've been here speaking on feeder roads and so on, you know. It's very important to develop your agriculture sector, even your housing stock too. Because there's land can be developed for housing, but the roads to get there and so on, you know. So, as I say, it's a learning lesson for each and every one, you know. In particular, government can see little loopholes here and there and plug them up and enhance something much better. You see? So, yeah, Kingsley. So, give thanks for your time. I'm going to take up much more time. So, you take care of yourself, man. You know, a lot of people suffer more than some of us, you know. We got to give thanks. We have life still, you know. That's the main thing. So food, shelter, and clothes will come in. And it's just a testing, you know. Each thing is testing every one of us.
Yes, all right.
So blessing to you and love and guidance to you and your other call. My Bajan brethren, hail up to you and Anita. Love to you all and blessing.
Okay, Mama Shaka. But what you say makes sense. I agree with you that we have to pay attention to our housing stock. In terms of rebuilding and building, they have to have a plan. Our preparedness, I spoke earlier that I felt, and I found myself in a position where the last hurricane come, I couldn't feed myself because I didn't take the warning as seriously as I should. That happened to me again. And the issue of readiness, we need to see more forthright persons speaking, persons who have a level of influence. And I listened to Shake Up Friday, and Edwin Stagg, who is the director of Grenese Affairs, was on. And I agree with you, Bongo Shaka. I never know that some of the wharf, as we call them, is in disrepair until I listen to the News Times program, which is hosted at Nice Radio. And hello, from what I see, some of those port or wharf need to be repaired. We be in a state of the art one on bottom tongue, but those in the grain needs getting help to maintain the structure. I hope that we see some level of urgency coming from the minister and the person in charge of supplying the information to the minister. I'm referring to Edwin Stagg. He is the person heading the Grains Affair. And somebody asked me what is my thought on Prime Minister avoiding Dr. Friday and Terence Oliver. Well, I can't speak to the Prime Minister avoiding, but I'm hoping to hear, go ahead. Good evening.
Kingsley, good night.
Hey.
Good night, Kingsley. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Yeah, I support that guy. I'm from the Grenadines, I'm from my area, and some of the infrastructures in the Grenadines is very bad. The wharf and thing is very bad. I mean, put no politics involved in that. Some of the wharf and them is really bad. I mean, going forward, we have to do better.
Yes.
Some of the wharf and thing.
No, I did support him because I hear some people making some complaints to the wharf in the Grenadines, and we be in a state of a warfare in Simmons and the ones in the Grenadines really need some repair. So I agree with both.
The wharf for them is really bad, is it? I mean, you're talking about the Grenadines, which support tourism for a lot to the mainland, both work together. And it's we have to do better going forward, no matter who government in power, to see we get the infrastructure right, because it's really bad wharf. It's really wharf for them is like, you go to Carriacou wharf is a modern port. You could take 3-4 boats one time.
Yes.
You don't have one boat outside and one boat inside. You take 3 boats, people well organized and every stuff. It's time for the grains to develop. I mean, whatever government in power, who support, but with one nation, but who in power, with one nation. Put the politics aside and we develop, because the tourism, the hurricane hit the mainland, the Grenadines, it's going to affect tourism. It's going to affect the tourism. It's going to joke about it. It's going to affect the tourism bad. So as quick as we could get this island back to running, maybe not 100% up as running as possible, but it's going to help take up the burden of the certain things. Because a lot of the ground is self-employed. My union, they work self-employed. So how they going to make it? It's tough. Going for friends
But you're making a lot of sense because earlier, before you probably were listening, we mentioned the importance of the tourism industry in the Grenadines, and whether it is water taxi or simple Airbnb or hotels and things like that, we need to some level of urgency. And as you say, they could start with repairing some of the wharf, because when I listen to the New Times program and I see the video of some of the wharfs in the Grenadines, it is amazing.
Yes, it's outdated, man. You know, I mean, you know, yeah, you don't want to say it but politics, but it is what it is. It's outdated. This is like back ancient days. It's outdated, man. You know, you can have it going forward with a country developing, and one part of it is neglect, and then you're saying the two together, and you want to develop the country. It's not gonna work. So it's like a mindset. You have me in a mindset, and I have you in a mindset. But let me just work together. You know, have a good night, man.
Yeah, thank you for calling. Yeah, well, it's good to hear somebody from the Grenadines calling to support Bogo Shaka's position. That tells you it is a meaningful contribution Bogo Shaka made, and I have seen and heard persons calling New Times program complaining that the wharfs in the Grenadines are in disrepair, and we need to see some effort. And I hope that Ellen Snack is listening and he could find some method to deal with that. And I was saying, somebody asked me a question if I think that Ralph Gonsalves in his consultation should involve Terence Olivier and Dr. Freddie. They are the duly elected parliamentarian. They don't have access to the government central funds and the treasury. But and I think that a Gonsalves is all inclusive. Hope I'm not wrong. And I hope you find time to suggest to them that they should come and get them intimately involved. He may say, and I you know, sometimes the man we just thought really right. I can remember 3 years ago somebody called on Ralph Gonsalves to bring Mr. Eustace to a consultation. You know what was Ralph Gonsalves respond? I can't quote him verbatimly. He said, people want to make Mr. Eustace look Prime Minister. Good evening.
Yeah, earlier you were talking about they said they was gonna plant how much acres of banana?
1,000 acres. I think it's 2,000.
I think the explanation.
NDP say one.
I think the explanation they give is that you had COVID and then you had the volcano. But that's nonsense.
Nonsense.
Because they made a promise in 2015 election, right? You had 2016, you had 2017, you had 2018, and you had the fourth half of 2019 to do it.
Yes.
But the COVID started around the last half of 2019. So that's nonsense.
I agree with you. Total nonsense. Total nonsense.
Yes. All right, I gone again.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Right. So I'm hoping that some effort will be made to see if they have some sort of discussion. Ralph Gonsalves may say, I'm Prime Minister and I'm Minister in charge of every square inch, but sometimes you have to let the politics slide and get Terence Olivier and Dr. Friday to speak from a development standpoint. They come to Parliament and they support your proposal of getting extended overdraft, getting some money here and everywhere. But bring them on these local platforms so they could be a part of what your plans are. And we are too divided when it comes to that. Like I say that some politicians make some really foolish statements. I can remember Ralph Gonsalves said he not make no joint statement with Eustace because they want to make Eustace to Prime Minister. Come on. Them things they too petty to happen. And I am hoping that we will see the better of Prime Minister Gonsalves to make an effort to get the duly elected parliamentarian Dr. Dorian Friday, Prime Minister in waiting, and the duly elected parliamentarian Minister of Education in waiting, Terence Olivier, to come and speak for the people who elect them. Give them some work to do. I think I heard last night on Jomo Thomas's program that the man who spoke last night said he spoke to Edwin Stagg as Director of Grenadines Affairs quite often, but he rarely speak to Terence Olivier, I hope I'm not misquoting you. If I misquote you, let me apologize in advance. But I think we should see a more wholesome strategy to get a wholesale standpoint change for everything that is going to take place and what we need to require. This is our final caller. You are our final caller.
Hey, good night, Mr. De Freitas.
Hey, Mr. Spee.
I was here listening, but I was troubled to call. I think when I heard you mention that, I don't know if I heard you right, or I don't know that Dr. Gonzalez has to give permission to Mr. Olivier and Dr. Friday to do whatsoever they have to do for the constituency that they represent, that is the Northern and Southern Grenadines.
Yes. No,
Do you know that?
No, I was suggesting that Dr. Gonzalez is going to have some level of consultation tomorrow and Thursday. And in an inclusive attitude, I think that he should invite those two duly elected parliamentarians, while he might say that they're not in the executive arm of the government, but they are duly elected parliamentarians, and I think they are better placed to speak to the infrastructure.
Are they from the Southern Grenadines?
Terence Olivier and Dr. Friday are from the Grenadines, yes?
No, but Dr. Friday and Mr. Olivier, they don't need anybody's permission. They can have a consultation with the persons whom they represent. I think that this thing about speaking is just a rigmarole and an excuse for persons who don't want to take the bull by the horn and do what they have to do, and giving them a free pass by making excuse of what Dr. Gonzalez should do and what Dr. Gonzalez should not do. I think the question is, can't they do anything outside of Dr. Gonzalez?
What of course they could do. I agree with you.
Of course,
I agree with you.
That too.
I agree with you. They should try and get some consultation with the people, but
they shouldn't try. They should.
But the more effective,
they have the ability to do that.
Yeah, but the more effective consultation will be the one that held by the Prime Minister. That is why we are suggesting Ralph Gonzalez should make an effort to have both of them there. But you would not see that.
No, I don't agree.
Why?
Why should Dr. Gonzalez make an effort if they know that they have to be there? They'll find themselves there.
Well, I'm going there tomorrow for sure.
So you think that you have an obligation to be there, and you find them, and you find yourself there? Dr. Gonzalez can pick them up and make sure that they're there.
Well, I'm hoping they have an open mic tomorrow, so I will have an opportunity to speak.
I don't want to give them an excuse or a free pass to say, no, Dr. Gonzalez didn't do that. Dr. Gonzalez didn't do that. And give them a free pass for not doing what they're supposed to do. I just think it's a rigmarole. People are making excuses. As far as I know, there is one government. Okay?
Yeah.
St. Vincent has one government.
Sound like when they're Glasgow.
And whether or not I sound like somebody else, choose.
You sound like you sound like when they're asking the European defender, because I still can't understand.
I don't know who I sound like. What I do know is that at any one time in St. Vincent, there is one government.
And we agree with that, but you still play the politics of suggesting that you don't think that the Dr. Gonzalez should invite them. I think he should invite them to be a part of the executive at the table tomorrow. I think he should invite them. If I were Ralph Gonzalez, I will call them to come. And if they come, then I beat them with a battering ram. Yes.
That's just another way to look at it.
Yes.
But I think it's just making an excuse for big grown men.
Okay then. Okay, Mr.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. That will definitely be our final call. And I take any more call because tomorrow is Wednesday. And the quicker I leave I want to reach before me just stay tomorrow morning. So quicker I leave better for me to wake up in the morning. Stay, if you come here, Port Folk, I can meet me tomorrow morning. So here what do. We're going to tell all the thanks for being here with us for the last hour and 55 minutes. We go home. get a rest. I had a special drink to drink tonight. No, not strong, man. Something more mild. And I'm gonna wake up Papa. I hope he ain't fall asleep. I'm gonna wake you up to sing for you again. I'll enjoy this until we see you next week Tuesday. How you going?
It's Feedback with host Kingsley De Freitas. This and every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. for 2 full hours, right here on WeFM 99.9. Join him as he brings different guests weekly on this informative and interactive program. It's Feedback. To be a part of the Feedback program, call us at 457-9997 or send us a WhatsApp at 457-9997. It's Feedback.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingstown. Established for over 38 years, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance.